Today, going to do a little bit of a video tutorial on how to make some paints out of food. So this is going to be a 2-lesson activity, which essentially means you've got 2 weeks to do it. Have a little go. I hope this is something a bit fun and that you can try out at home on your own or maybe with your family. Do ask permission for some of these. Apologies in advance if you hear lots of noise. There's some drilling going on next door, which is very annoying. So what we're going to need today, as it says in the slideshow, do have a look through it. We need a couple of things. I will show you here. My cat, hello. We need a plate, anything essentially that your parents are okay with you using in the cupboard. I've found a few things here. I've got a couple of mugs. I do have a paintbrush, but I've also got some tissue. I'm going to show you how to use just tissue if you don't have it. I've got a pencil, a pen, a ruler, everything like that. Okay, so there are a few things we need. We'll go through it in a second. I've also got some paper to work on. And I just want to show you very quickly a little way that I would do this, okay, to hopefully make it a bit simpler, because I know the slideshow's got a lot of information in it. It might be a bit hard to process. So first thing I'm going to do, before I start making any paints, on a piece of paper, I'm going to make myself a grid to work on. Okay, and I'm not panicked about how measured out this is. You know, maybe it'd be nice to have about 15 boxes on a piece of paper. If you want to work that out properly and measure it and make 15 exact boxes, that's fine. If not, don't worry. So try and show you very quickly on here. Hopefully you can see it. I just don't want you to be very, very particular. So I'm not even going to measure. I'm going to look at my page and think I need about roughly 3 even areas. So I'm going to go one about there. 1 about there, that's about 3, fairly even, not a problem. I'm going to go about 5 down. I'm not sure exactly what 5 down is. Move that out of the way. Let's have a go. So let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. That's fairly even, isn't it? That's okay. Bring it back up. So you can see it doesn't have to take ages. If you want to measure it and be exact, you can do. But if not, I'm just looking for a page with about 15 boxes on. So I've divided my centre page into about 3 lines, and then down the front I've done about 4 lines to divide it into 5 sections. So I've got that, I've got my sections. I now want to have a go at making some paints. So as I've said on the slideshow, first thing you do is choose some things in your kitchen that you think will work. This is about food. So spices are very good for this. I've got lots of little spices. I've got here turmeric, which is probably quite old, some mixed spice. Just there, I've also got some paprika. So let's start off with some spices and see how that works. Now, first thing I want to do is, I've got that first, get myself a little teaspoon. I just want to get a tiny bit out. Okay, just about, maybe about that much to start with, not very much, half a teaspoon. And I'm going to put it on a plate, just in the corner of a plate, so that I can do that. So I'm going to do that with that one. I'll show you in a second. Let me get them out first. A little bit on there. Little bit of mixed spice. That might even be too much. I need a bit less than that. And a little bit of paprika. Paprika. Okay, and I'll put it on my plate. I'll just show you. Let me see if I stick that again. Just a little bit on my plate, just like that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is just mix a little bit of water with it. So we need a little cup of water. It's got it in a little mug, little cup of water. And this is where a brush is very helpful if you have one. If not, literally do this. I've got myself a piece of tissue. There's more suggestions on there, cotton buds, rolls of cotton, anything like that. And I'm just going to roll up that piece of tissue and maybe even fold it in half. And what I've got here is just like a little dabber, just a piece of tissue. Anything will work. It's just something to dip in some water and spread around a little bit. So if you want to make out of anything, have a little think about how you can make it. Tissue, cotton buds, anything like that. So I'm going to dip my tissue in a bit of water. I'm going to use my paintbrush to start with. And I'm going to mix a little bit of water with some of my spice. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'll bring it up to the screen. So I'm going to mix, oops, try not to drop it everywhere. A little bit of water with, let me tilt it downwards. Whoops, where is it? A little bit of water with some of my spice. Okay, I'm doing it with my paintbrush, but I can show you how I do it with the tissue. A little bit of water on my tissue. And just start mixing that up with a bit of water. Okay, you can see it's still coming out. There's a bit of watery paste just there. So a bit of tissue, doesn't work as well, but certainly you'll still get tissuey water. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm going to get my water mix it up, and I'm going to have a go at painting with it on my first page. I'm ready to get spices on it. So on my first section of my page, you can see that all right. I'm going to do a little bit of painting. Just in that first box, try it out. You can just do a little block of it, or you can try making kind of tonal range like we did with our drawings. You can try darker tones at the start, just like that. Try and get a bit darker and then maybe fade it out a little bit. Get down before it drips. Okay, and make sure on that piece, that section, make sure in that section you write down what that is. So that's turmeric. You probably want to do this at the start. So that's turmeric. So I'm just going to write that on there. All right, turmeric. Okay, and then the next one is going to be paprika. So write paprika. And I'm going to get my brush again, or my tissue. Mix a little bit of water with my paprika. And I'm going to go painting with that as well. Interesting, not as bright as I thought it would be. Not as bright as I thought it would be. And that's my painting with my paprika. So that's what we want to do, is label our boxes and try out some paints. Now in terms of what you can do this with, we've got so many things. I was looking in my cupboard, I've got soy sauce as an example. I'm definitely going to do this with some soy. I've got gravy. Why not? I'm going to go with some gravy. I've definitely got hot chocolate. Love a bit of hot chocolate. Coffee I'm making with. I've already put a bit of water in my coffee. I've got beetroots, so I'm going to pour out a little bit of that juice. And I'm going to try cabbage. I lied, pickled cabbage. So red cabbage, I reckon that's going to be quite a nice bright red colour. I'm going to try that as well. Have a little think, anything in your home that you can make into juice. I've had people before do this with berries, squidge up berries and try and make something from the berry juice. Any kind of, squash and juice, you can try it if you've got some cordial or some squash. But mostly think of spices, think of powdered form things you could play with as well. Okay, so I do want you to have some fun with this. There is a description in the document to show you a little bit more in detail, but I just know it's a bit of a heavy document. So the main aim in the next 2 lessons, make yourself about 15 boxes on a page, start making yourself some paints, make yourself a paintbrush if you don't have one, and try making some paints with food. Any questions, do let me know, email me anytime, and hopefully this will be a really good activity.